Yeah, it's a little bit awkward that Robyn's here. Of course, we're not on the best of terms.
My desire and intention has always been to have a good relationship with Christine. That's what I'm putting forward.
Because these relationships do need to get mended.
We've had such a struggle with this. I'd almost rather just take some time to get in them.
Yeah, it's definitely awkward that Robyn is here. Let's be real, we're not exactly on the best of terms. But my goal has always been the same, to have a good relationship with Christine. That's what I keep trying to put forward, because these broken connections desperately need healing. We've struggled for years, and honestly, sometimes I just want to pause everything and work on fixing us before anything else. Christine starts her book by pulling us into the early years, the moment the family stepped into the spotlight. TLC presented the Browns as this unique, loving polygamous family, a wholesome unit bravely challenging society's views. But as Christine reveals, that picture was carefully staged. In reality, the Browns were struggling long before the cameras showed up. Christine writes about how the tension between the wives, the competition for Kody's affection, and the unequal treatment were already present. But when the producers showed up, suddenly, those cracks were painted over. Christine explains how producers told them, the world needs to see polygamy as love. Keep smiling, keep it light, keep it united. Behind that staged happiness, Christine was silently falling apart. She writes that she felt invisible compared to the other wives, especially as Kody openly favored Robyn. But the cameras rarely caught that loneliness. Why? Because Christine says producers deliberately cut away from her tears. Imagine this, Christine crying in the background, while the camera zoomed in on Kody cracking a joke. That's not real life. That's a scripted illusion. And fans noticed, even back then. One fan wrote on Reddit, "It always felt like Christine's voice was muted. I could see the sadness in her eyes, but the show made her look like comic relief instead of a woman in pain." Another fan tweeted, "Christine was the heart of the family, but TLC edited her like a background character." Reading her book just confirms what we all suspected. Let me ask you, did you ever feel Christine was sidelined, like she was the funny one while her real story was hidden? Christine's biggest bombshell is that the family's entire purpose on the show was to sell a lie about polygamy. Producers wanted to show America that plural marriage wasn't chaotic or unfair, but full of love, equality, and teamwork. Christine reveals how she was pressured to smile through Kody's obvious favoritism, to publicly praise him even when she felt unloved, and to pretend that sister-wife relationships were peaceful when in truth, jealousy was tearing them apart. She admits she would sometimes rehearse her lines before filming, making sure her words would align with the happy family image TLC demanded. Can you imagine living in misery, but being forced to smile for millions of viewers every Sunday night? Fans are furious after reading this. On Facebook, one fan wrote, "I feel cheated. I spent years believing Sister Wives was showing the truth about polygamy. Turns out it was just propaganda. Christine is the only one brave enough to admit it." Another chimed in, "If TLC lied about this, what else did they lie about? How much of what we saw was staged?" Christine doesn't just blame Kody or Robyn, she also calls out TLC directly. She claims producers would cut entire storylines if they didn't fit the narrative of unity. For example, Christine once tried to speak about how unequal Kody's attention was, but the footage mysteriously never aired. Instead, they showed Kody gushing about how much he loved all his wives equally. Christine writes, "That wasn't real. It never was. But TLC needed the fairy tale, so that's what viewers saw." This part of her book has fans rewatching old episodes with brand new eyes. Suddenly, scenes that once felt heartwarming now feel suspicious. On TikTok, a viral fan reaction said, "When Kody gave that speech about equality in season 5, I cried. Now, after Christine's book, I realize it was all fake. I feel manipulated, and honestly, betrayed." The first chapters of Christine's book lay the foundation for the truth, that Sister Wives was a constructed illusion. But she also starts dropping hints about her eventual breaking point. She describes moments where Kody humiliated her off camera, but those clips were cut. She writes about feeling like an actress in a role she never signed up for. And she reveals how, after years of silence, she started to realize she was more than just a supporting character in Kody's story. Christine writes, "I had been told for years to smile, to stay quiet, to let the show be what it needed to be. But one day I realized, this wasn't just a show. This was my life. And I wasn't going to let TLC script it anymore." So there you have it, the start of Christine's shocking truth bomb. Sister Wives wasn't reality. It was a carefully crafted illusion designed to make us believe in a happy polygamous family. And Christine? She was the sacrificial character, forced to hide her pain to keep the story alive. But this is only the beginning. In part 2, we're going deeper into the behind-the-scenes chaos, the favoritism of Robyn, and the raw fan reactions that exploded once Christine told her truth. Backhand index pointing right, but before we get there, I want to hear from you. TLC owes fans an apology for lying to us? Should reality TV shows come with a disclaimer that says, not everything you see is real? And most importantly, if Christine never spoke out, would we still believe the Sister Wives fairy tale? When Kody Brown first opened up about the lies behind Sister Wives, fans thought they had heard it all. But what came next shook viewers to their core. Christine wasn't just telling her story, she was exposing the very foundation of the show, revealing how TLC shaped their lives into a fantasy, and how Kody and Robyn played along while the other wives silently suffered. Christine describes in her book how filming often felt more like a performance than reality. Cameras would roll after arguments, but producers would ask them to tone it down or rehash scenes so the drama could be edited into something more palatable. "We weren't living authentically," Christine admitted. "We were performing for a narrative that wasn't ours." And fans? They feel betrayed. One angry viewer on Reddit wrote, "All these years, I thought we were watching the real struggles of a polygamous family. Turns out TLC gave us a scripted soap opera, and the Browns went along with it." No wonder Christine had enough. Christine reveals shocking details about how producers controlled the storylines. If Kody favored Robyn, producers highlighted it. If Christine cried, they edited it to make her look jealous or insecure. Rarely did they show the moments where she stood strong, confident, and assertive. It was all about ratings. According to Christine, when she complained about Kody's growing favoritism toward Robyn, she was told, "That's great content. Let's capture that conflict." Instead of intervening or supporting her, TLC exploited her pain. Fans were outraged when this revelation surfaced. A fan on Twitter tweeted, "So TLC knew Christine was miserable but milked it for drama? That's not entertainment, that's exploitation." Another chimed in, "Christine wasn't weak or insecure, she was being silenced and edited. No wonder she looks like a new woman now." Christine's book also dives into how TLC contracts prevented the wives from fully speaking out. Anything they said publicly had to be network approved. Christine recalls moments when she wanted to share her real feelings on social media, but she was threatened with legal consequences if she went against the storyline. Imagine being trapped in a marriage and in a contract. Christine writes, "I felt like I had no voice. I couldn't speak out against Kody, and I couldn't share my truth with fans. My silence was part of the show's illusion." One fan reaction captured the heartbreak perfectly. Christine wasn't just Kody's prisoner, she was TLC's too. They both gagged her voice, one with emotional manipulation, the other with legal papers. If Christine's words cut deep, Kody's behavior made them sting even more. Christine recalls moments when she would ask Kody for emotional support, only to watch him drop everything for Robyn. Family decisions were skewed. Vacations, finances, even the children's milestones seemed to favor Robyn's family. Christine says it felt like she was screaming into a void. "I would ask Kody to spend time with me or the kids, but there was always an excuse. Then I'd see him giving Robyn the attention I begged for." Fans exploded with rage over this revelation. On Facebook, one fan posted, Kody turned sister wives into Kody and Robyn show. The other wives were background props, and Christine was smart enough to walk away. Another added, I stopped watching when I realized Christine and Janelle were carrying the emotional weight while Kody played house with Robyn. The camera showed some tension, but Christine's book reveals just how toxic things became. Off camera, fights escalated into cruel words. Christine describes one night where she begged Kody to acknowledge her efforts as a wife and mother. Instead, Kody dismissed her. You knew what you signed up for. If you can't handle polygamy, that's your problem. Christine writes that she felt shattered. I realized then, I wasn't just unloved, I was unwanted. This is the moment fans point to as Christine's breaking point. One viewer tweeted, the fact that Christine begged for validation and Kody told her it was her fault, sickening. He never deserved her. Another wrote, Kody gaslighting Christine while TLC filmed her tears. I'll never look at this show the same way again. Christine's ultimate turning point came during a family meeting where she expressed her unhappiness. Instead of compassion, she got hostility. Kody dismissed her as emotional. Robyn suggested she should pray more. And the other wives stayed quiet, afraid to rock the boat. Christine recalls,
You never tried to have a really good relationship with these other people. And I'm pissed off.
That's not true.
And it's
Yes,
just
I did.
vomiting out of, sat here with it just like Christine, try and do this. Renegotiate a relationship with me, but you wouldn't even have a decent one with them.
in that moment, I knew no one was going to save me. I had to save myself. That decision, to walk away, wasn't just about leaving Kody. It was about reclaiming her voice after years of silence. The fanbase erupted in support. Hashtags like #TeamChristine and #Christine Deserved Better trended on Twitter. Viewers created TikToks praising her strength, comparing her glow-up after leaving Kody to a butterfly breaking free from a cocoon. One fan on Reddit wrote, "Christine is proof that you can reclaim your life at any age. She's happier, healthier, and stronger than ever, and that's the real sister-wife story." Another, "This show was supposed to be about unity, but it turned into a masterclass in manipulation. Christine is the only one brave enough to walk away." And here's where I want to pause and ask you, the viewer. Backhand index pointing right, do you think Christine leaving exposed the truth about polygamy and TLC's lies, or was she just the first to say what the others were too scared to admit? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this debate is only heating up. Kody Brown didn't just leave Kody. She left behind a broken system, a toxic cycle, and a TV empire that thrived on her pain. Her departure didn't mark the end, it marked the beginning of something bigger, a movement of fans who refuse to be silent, who see Christine as more than just a reality star. She is, in their eyes, a survivor, a fighter, and an inspiration. After walking away, Christine's transformation was impossible to ignore. She went from the quiet, often dismissed wife on TLC's stage to a radiant, confident, independent woman. Her social media feeds lit up with pictures of her smiling, cooking, traveling, and, most importantly, living life on her own terms. Fans couldn't stop talking about her glow-up. One fan wrote on Instagram, "Christine looks 10 years younger since leaving Kody. Happiness really is the best cosmetic." Another fan commented, "This is what freedom looks like. She's not just surviving, she's thriving." Her story resonated deeply with women around the world, especially those stuck in controlling marriages or relationships. Christine wasn't just a TV character anymore. She became a symbol of strength. Christine's journey didn't end with leaving polygamy, it blossomed into new beginnings. When she announced her relationship with David Woolley, fans erupted with joy. This wasn't just a new man in her life, this was a man who adored her openly, proudly, and without conditions. Christine herself said, "For the first time I feel chosen every single day." Fans lost it. On Twitter, one fan wrote, "David looks at Christine the way Kody never did. That's what real love looks like." Another said, "Seeing Christine happy makes me realize how miserable she was all those years." She deserves every ounce of this love. This relationship didn't just change Christine's life, it shattered the narrative that polygamy was the only path. Meanwhile, Christine's freedom put Kody and Robyn under a harsh spotlight. Fans began to turn on them more than ever. The once golden couple of sister wives became villains in the public eye. Robyn's tears, once seen as genuine, were now viewed as manipulative. Kody's rants, once brushed off, were now dissected as controlling and narcissistic. Christine's truth gave fans the lens to finally see what had been hiding in plain sight. One fan tweeted, "Christine leaving exposed Kody for who he really is, selfish, controlling, and obsessed with Robyn." Robyn thought Christine leaving would make her life easier. Instead, it exposed her role in the family's collapse. The backlash was so strong that many fans openly called for TLC to end Sister Wives altogether, or, at the very least, rebrand it as Christine's Story. By now, Christine doesn't just have fans, she has an army. Social media groups dedicated to her glow up, TikTok edits celebrating her strength, YouTube channels analyzing her every move. Christine's name is everywhere. One viral TikTok soundbite captured the energy perfectly. Christine didn't just leave Kody, she left the cage, and taught us all how to fly. Fans shared personal stories, crediting Christine for inspiring their own choices. "I filed for divorce after watching Christine leave. She gave me courage. Christine reminded me that I deserve more than being someone's second option. Her smile after leaving made me realize how powerful freedom is." Christine's impact has moved beyond television. She's become a cultural conversation about women, marriage, control, and freedom. But here's the burning question fans keep debating. Backhand index pointing right, was Sister Wives ever about family, or was it always about control and Kody's ego? Christine herself wonders in her book. Was this ever about unity, or was it always destined to collapse under Kody's choices? Viewers can't stop discussing it. One fan on Facebook posted, "Kody used religion as an excuse, but what he really wanted was control. Christine breaking free proved that." Another chimed in, "Polygamy was never the problem, it was Kody's manipulation and favoritism that destroyed this family." The comments sections of Christine's interviews are filled with thousands of voices echoing one thing: Christine gave us clarity. Today, Christine's legacy is more than just being the wife who left. She is the wife who refused to settle. She is the woman who dared to speak the truth about a system built on silence. She is the mother who showed her children that walking away from pain is not failure, it's freedom. Fans now see her not just as a reality star, but as a voice of empowerment. Her name has become synonymous with courage. One fan summed it up perfectly. "Christine didn't just change her life, she changed ours. She taught us it's never too late to choose happiness." So where does this leave Sister Wives? Can the show survive without Christine? Many fans say no. They argue that the show has lost its heart. Christine's laughter, honesty, and vulnerability were the glue holding it together. Without her, it's just Kody and Robyn defending a crumbling illusion. Some fans suggest TLC should pivot. Give Christine her own show. We'd watch every episode. Others think Christine should step away from reality TV altogether and focus on her family, her cooking ventures, and her new love. Either way, one thing is clear. When Kody Brown finally spoke her truth, she didn't just tell her side of the story, she cracked open the glossy facade that TLC had spent years building. Her book wasn't just a memoir, it was a mirror held up to an empire of deception. And fans? They weren't just reading. They were living, breathing, and reacting with every word. One fan on Reddit captured the collective shock best: "I knew reality TV was fake, but reading Christine's words hit differently. It wasn't just editing, it was a cover-up of pain, favoritism, and manipulation. She deserved so much better." And that's the heart of it. Christine's revelations didn't only expose Kody. They exposed a network, a system, and even our own willingness as viewers to believe in the story we were being fed. For years, Christine was portrayed as the sweet one, the dutiful wife holding the family together. But behind the cameras, she was drowning in loneliness and rejection. In her book, she shares how often she cried herself to sleep, knowing Kody's heart and time was elsewhere. Fans immediately connected with this vulnerability. On TikTok, one woman made a viral video saying, "Christine's story gave me the courage to leave my own loveless marriage. If she can do it after decades on TV, so can I." Christine became more than just a reality star. She became a symbol of courage, of walking away when love turns into lies. Backhand index pointing right question for viewers. Do you think Christine's bravery has actually saved lives, not just entertained us, but inspired real women to reclaim their worth? The bigger question that Christine's book forces us to ask is this: how much of reality TV is real at all? Fans are now revisiting old episodes of Sister Wives with new eyes. They notice how often Robyn was given the heroic edit, while Christine was framed as emotional or jealous. They see how Kody's neglect was softened with clever music and narration. One Twitter fan wrote, "TLC gaslit us right along with Christine. Watching the old seasons now feels disgusting. We weren't fans, we were participants in her pain." This hits hard. Because while Sister Wives sold us drama, it also sold us a lie, that this family was functional, that polygamy could be happy, that Kody was a leader instead of a divider. Christine's truth shattered that illusion. Backhand index pointing right viewer prompt. Do you feel cheated as a fan, knowing TLC knowingly hid so much truth? Or do you think all reality TV is fake anyway, so we shouldn't be surprised? If Christine is the hero of this story, fans have made it clear who the villains are. Kody's arrogance and Robyn's manipulations became the targets of a social media storm. One fan tweeted, "Christine carried the show. Kody just carried his ego." Another wrote, "Robyn didn't just join the family, she dismantled it." On Facebook groups with thousands of Sister Wives followers, fans are openly saying they will boycott TLC unless Christine gets her own spin-off. The anger isn't just about broken marriages. It's about broken trust. Fans feel like they invested 15 years in a family that was never real. But here's the twist, the story doesn't end in bitterness. Christine's post-Kody journey is a new beginning. She's found love again. She's building a career on her own terms. She's finally being seen, not as Kody's wife number 3, but as Christine Brown, a woman, a mother, a survivor. In interviews, she smiles in ways we never saw during the TLC years. Fans notice it too. Her eyes are alive again, one commenter wrote under a YouTube clip. She doesn't look broken anymore. She looks free. And that freedom, that glow, is the ultimate revenge. Backhand index pointing right question for viewers. Do you think Christine should completely leave the spotlight behind, or do you want to see her get her own show where she controls the narrative? What happens now to Sister Wives? Can the show survive after Christine exposed the production tricks, the favoritism, the lies? Some fans think TLC will double down, pushing Kody and Robyn as the central couple. Others think the network will scramble to keep Christine involved somehow, because they know she's the real star. But one thing is certain, Christine's book has changed how viewers see the entire franchise. The illusion is broken. And once you see the cracks, you can't unsee them. When people look back on Sister Wives years from now, they won't just remember the polygamy experiment. They'll remember Christine, the wife who walked away. She didn't just save herself. She saved the story. Without her courage, the lies might still be hidden. Without her voice, fans might still be fooled. And that's why her book matters. It's not just a tell-all. It's a warning. It's a reminder that behind every reality TV smile, there may be pain we never see. So now it's your turn. After everything Christine revealed, after years of TLC's editing tricks and Kody's favoritism, what do you believe? Do you think Christine's story proves Sister Wives was always a lie? Do you think Kody and Robyn will ever admit the truth? Should Christine move on, or should she stay in the spotlight to keep exposing the reality behind reality TV? Drop your thoughts below, because this isn't just Christine's story anymore. It's ours too, the fans who watched, believed, and finally saw the truth.